Good. Overall, it was a good prep week, getting ready for the Ryder Cup. As far as the tournament went, I did some good stuff over the course of 4 days, especially over the weekend. Felt like my game got better as the week went on, and played some really nice golf Saturday and Sunday to be sitting here.
Coming down the stretch, what was your plan, and when did the round really start to pick up for you today?
Well, my plan was to try and make some birdies, but the golf course gets really challenging late in the day. The wind picks up, starts swirling a little bit, and the greens get pretty challenging. There's a lot of slope, and then afternoon putt is always tough. But overall, I did a good job. I think I had maybe one bogey today, and then bounced back real quick with birdies on 12 and 15, and felt like I really needed a birdie 18, but fortunately, a par was enough.
Perfect. With that, we'll open up to media. We're going to bring a microphone over here, Marty.
Hey, Scottie, congratulations on winning for the first time in the state of California. How big of a week is this for you, for your teammates on the Ryder Cup team, winning here? And does it provide some momentum to go back to Bethpage Black with so many of the Ryder Cup players who not only made the cut, but it, really got on that leaderboard and played well?
Yeah, it was definitely nice to see some of my teammates up on the leaderboard. Ben and I had a good battle today, and yeah, like you said, it was a good prep week. The guys definitely stayed sharp this week, and I always focus as much as I can on my preparation going into tournaments. That's what gives me confidence, and I feel like I'm as prepared as possible for the Ryder Cup. And I think we're all excited for the tournament to get started. And we got 3 days in New York to compete and have fun, and we're all looking forward to it.
Moving over left side here, probably right behind your trophy.
And just piggybacking off that, do you feel like you got what you wanted to out of this week, just kind of with preparation, going forward for that stage?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to elaborate on that, but yeah, it was definitely good prep. It was nice to get all the guys together. We had some fun at the beginning of the week, put our practice rounds together, and then once the tournament starts, it's pretty much business as usual for us. But overall, it was a great weekend to all hang out and stay sharp.
Brody and the Doug.
Obviously lighthearted with jokes about, first time in California, but I'm curious, do you ever find little things like that to motivate yourself, or little things you want to achieve that you really want to hit, or is it simple as just this is a turn?
I think I try to keep it as simple as possible. I had no idea that I never won in the state of California. It didn't really bother me very much. I don't think I've won in Oregon or Washington. You know what I mean? It's that I think y'all's job is always to find something to write about, which is a good thing for me. I try to stay out of it. Approach each week individually, and this was a week in which I was playing on a new golf course, a golf course that was pretty challenging to play for the first time, and did a really good job of kind of staying in the tournament the first 2 days, and then the last two I played some really good golf in order to be in this position.
And you had a little hug with Ben kind of you're walking off, obviously a tough finish. I'm curious, over these last few months, when a guy starts playing as well as him, and suddenly you realize he might be in the mix of the team, did you have to make an effort to almost I need to get to know that guy more as that result?
I mean, there would certainly be an aspect to that if he was a very new guy on tour. I mean, Ben's actually a guy that I spent a lot of time with in junior golf. We used to play practice rounds together in junior and amateur golf, and he's been a buddy of mine for a long time. And I feel like the tour sometimes is just a little bit of a traveling fraternity. I mean, we see the same guys week in, week out, and travel the country and world sometimes together, and we have a good time. It does really feel like a fraternity at times, and I've got some of our best friends in the whole world out here on tour, and I feel like I know a lot of the guys out here really well. So it would be very rare to have a guy coming into the team room that we didn't know very well, just because we see each other week in, week out here. And if a guy's typically, if you're playing well enough to make the team, you're going to be playing a lot with other guys that are playing good enough to make the team. It's going to be pretty rare that there's going to be a guy that's not, towards the lead a lot of the time, and throughout the year, if that makes sense.
That's something else as usual. But on that note, is it all impressive to you at all that the last home Ryder Cup, your debut, that Ben was filling out his exit papers at a loan mortgage office, and here he is?
I think Ben always had the belief that he was going to be out here. I don't know if he was an accountant or whatever for that long. Well, I don't know what he was, but
Mortgage officer.
Well, mortgage officer. Yeah. I mean, when you talk to Ben, he's a guy that has a lot of confidence. He's got a lot of self-belief, and that's what we love about him being a part of our Ryder Cup team. And, yeah, like you said, that's kind of a weird thing to think about. But like I said, I grew up with Ben. He always had the talent to make it out here, and he's been a tremendous putter for his entire as long as I've known him, and his ball striking has really come around, and he's also picked up some speed. So Ben's a guy that has always put in, I think a ton of work, and he's always looking to improve, and, he's never lacked confidence, and, he's going to be a great part of our Ryder Cup team this year, and I'm sure he'll be a part of many teams going forward as well.
And for the birdies, at least 2 of the par 5s that you took care of, I'm just curious how important 13 was for you. 14, sorry, that's one up there. 14.
Making par today?
Is it 14?
Yeah, man, I made a nice little 5.5 footer there for par.
That's a hard spot to be in, it looked like, from where you were in the fairway, straight down the hill.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky hole, and I executed 2 shots. I felt like how we wanted to, and just got a weird gust of wind, and that's part of playing this golf course, and did a good job of staying patient, and holding a really nice putt for par there.
On left, Steph.
I've won 19 times now on the tour, and that's Napa that Ben Crenshaw, Ernie Els, and Tom Kite have also gotten to. What does it need to have your name among that group?
Yeah, Ben and Tom Kite, a couple Austin guys. So that's, a couple Longhorns. That's always fun to be in their company. Those are 2 guys that I've looked up to for a long time, and Ernie as well. I mean, Ernie has been nothing but great to me since I turned pro, and it's pretty weird to be in the same realm as those guys, just because I've looked up them for such a long time. But yeah, it's been a nice last few years, and I feel very fortunate to be sitting here holding the trophy. I mean, it was a hard fought week, and I'm definitely fortunate to be mentioned with names like those.
Back up front with Marty.
Hey, Scottie, what was it like just coming to Napa, Silverado, this part of the world, and spending the week here and playing before these big crowds? Greatest field I think they've ever had here, and greatest week they've ever had here. But what was that like, just, summing up the week here in Napa?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the crowds were great. I mean, we felt so much support from them. There was a lot of noise out there. Our groups were all kind of one part of the golf course on Thursday and Friday, and there was a ton of people out there. It was really fun to be able to play in front of the crowd, and we heard lots of USA chants and lots of good luck wishes for the Ryder Cup. And as far as Napa goes, I didn't really do too much of the winery scene or anything like that, but it's a beautiful part of the country. I mean, California is amazing. Every time we come here, I love it so much. And we had a great week here at the course as well. And overall, it was very fun.
And to put your name alongside, there's been some great winners over the years here: Jack Nicklaus, Johnny Miller, Ben Crenshaw. You go down the list, going back to the 60s. What does it mean to join that kind of a winner's circle of people who are in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get mentioned in the same breath as guys like that, it's typically a pretty good thing. And like I said, it was 4 hard-fought days here this week, and I'm fortunate to be sitting here with the trophy.
And we'll wrap up with Doug unless there's any others.
Just curious. I mean, you speak so consistently about staying in the present. Have you ever checked a football score in the middle of a round?
In the middle of a tournament round? No. In the middle of a round at home,
That doesn't count.
basically all the time. I was pretty clued into the Cowboys game today before we were teeing off, and last I saw, we were punting it away with 2.5 minutes left in overtime, and last I heard, we won. I heard that from numerous people out there on the course, so if they were lying to me, I'm going to be kind of pissed. But, if they're telling the truth.
And it's, we're a year out. Do you come back to defend this?
I barely know what I'm going to do tomorrow, let alone a year from now. But it's always nice to have the opportunity to come and defend your championships. But we'll have to cross the bridge when we get there. I've been pretty consistent with that over time. I don't like committing to tournaments unless I know for sure I'm going to play. Backing out from a tournament is not a good feeling when you've already committed.
Right. But I guess what I was looking at was, is this something that you could see happening going forward, since the President's Cup is kind of in the same spot, late September? Nothing going on between Atlanta and that. And could you see this being a thing for a U.S. team?
I mean, when I look at my experience from the last few team events, that it's weird to have such a long break after the season ends to one of our biggest events being either the President's Cup or Ryder Cup. I mean, those are huge for us as Americans, and something that we take a lot of pride in. I find it really weird that there's 4 or 5 weeks in between the end of our season and a huge team event. And so staying sharp is something that's always important to me, but it is important to also get rest at the end of each season. I mean, playing tournament golf out here for an entire year and being in contention, I mean, it takes a lot out of you physically and mentally. And so there is a balance between rest and getting ready for the team events. But going into this Ryder Cup, I felt like for our preparation, this was something that we needed to do, was come here and play this week. And like I said, I think we're all feeling very prepared to go into Bethpage and excited to get that week started. Yeah, it was something that we had discussed at the beginning of the year. We had floated the idea of doing a scouting trip to Bethpage or coming here and playing this event, and we felt it would have been a little bit more valuable to get all the guys together here this week and play tournament golf in order to stay shape. Because for me, there's just a difference between practicing and playing at home than getting under the gun in a tournament. And I think, especially going into a team event where you play formats that you're not totally used to, with it being match play on Sunday and then playing a best ball and an alternate shot, it's a little bit of a different format than we're used to. So I think it's even more important to stay sharp going into a tournament like that.
Oh, yeah, it's measure, but anything you feel out there today, it looks like I'm all right.
In contention? Yeah. Anytime that's the stuff that I think as competitors we live for. It's the most fun. Finishing 15th is not really all that interesting at times. It's much more fun to be coming down the strip. What'd you say? No, it's much more interesting to be coming down the stretch, having a chance to win the golf tournament. It's a ton of fun. Ben and I had a great battle today, and I was fortunate to be the winner this week, but he's going to bounce back, and I'm excited that he's going to be on my team in a couple of weeks. I'm excited that I don't have to play against him.
Final questions with Steph on the left.
How come Doug gets like 5 final questions every time?
Notice he does
How does that work?
Walking off the course on Friday and your 8 shots back, is there anything different that you're doing mentally going into the weekend that you wouldn't really?
Anything that I would do mentally, not really, but it is a different approach to, I think if you're winning by 5 or 6 shots, there's not really too much you got to really think about. But I think you can, like what I did is I can kind of assess the first couple rounds of the tournament, figure out what I did good, figure out what I could have improved on. And, I did a much better job, I think, staying patient and being committed over the weekend than I did, the first couple of days of the tournament.
Perfect. That's all the questions we have. Again, congrats, Scottie.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.